Joe Ryan. That's a good one.
That's a better one.
Here's Ric Flair.
Okay.
We'll talk about him. So this might be a little longer one. I think Joe Ryan is probably the most interesting guy to talk about among pitchers for multiple reasons. One of which is he had a career year, including a phenomenal first half that got him to the All-Star team. You know, he faded in the second half, which is something we've talked about with him now 3 or 4 years in a row. It's been really the story of his entire career.
I mean, he's faded at least this year he stayed healthy through the second half, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, with a lot of pitchers, there's a fine line for that.
Sure.
But yeah, last year,
that's a fair point.
He shut it down with a shoulder injury, missed the final 6 or 7 weeks. But the year before that, to my point, he pitched with a groin injury and was horrendous for like a month and a half, and then admitted he had the groin injury. But by that point, he had already wrecked his numbers, and then they didn't trust him in the playoffs. They gave him a 1-inning start in the playoffs, basically. This year, amazing first half, was probably one of the 5 best pitchers in the American League for the first half, and began the second half okay, but then the trade deadline hit, and a couple things happened there that I think kind of bumped him off course a little bit. I mean, first of all, he's just capable of not pitching well. As we've seen, the guys get tired at the end of the season, et cetera, et cetera. But he thought he'd been traded on deadline day because Fox Sports, their national account, which has like millions of followers probably or something, tweeted a graphic even that had him in a Red Sox hat saying Joe Ryan's been traded to the Red Sox. And this was like as deals were coming fast and furious, like in the final 40 minutes or whatever. And Ryan told, I think, Dan Hayes and maybe a couple other people in Cleveland after, they were sitting in like a ballroom in the hotel or something, just sort of hanging out as a team as the deadline was happening. And he was like, oh, I've been traded. Right. And guys were like, oh, man, sorry to hear it, blah, blah, blah. And then like 5 minutes later, they were like, oh, delete that tweet. That didn't happen. I think that threw him off course. And then the other thing is I think he seemed more, at least vocal, about the effect it had on him kind of being the one that was left behind, I guess. Yeah. Like the one that remained, him and Pablo and Buxton, basically. And, you know, they went from a team trying to compete to a team like we just talked about with Noah Davis that didn't care. Right. And I think that was difficult for him to deal with. I think he's an emotional guy. I'm not painting this as a bad thing. I am too. But I think, you know, he's a guy, you can see it when he pitches. If he gets a bad call from the umpire, he reacts in a way that you can see. Sure. If a bad defensive play is made behind him, he reacts in a way that you can see. And I think in this case, he was willing to talk about it. And I think that kind of bumped him off course too, where it was like, I'm still here. No one else is here. I thought I was gone. What are we playing for? What's my future here? Et cetera, et cetera. And then I also just think he's shown a tendency to not be able to kind of complete a full 6-month season, which is not unique among starting pitchers.
This is a career high in number of innings for him as
171 innings, something like that. Yep. And he's, by the way, still finished top 10 in ERA, wins, strikeout rate, strikeout to walk ratio, opponent's batting average, pretty much every stat.
But did struggle enough the last 2-3 months to bring his arbitration number down to the point where he's much more reasonable, reasonably fits into the Twins' play.
And this is the other reason that I said he was probably the most intriguing guy is his future with the Twins is very much in flux right now. And we projected him when we were talking at the deadline to he made like $2 or $3 million this year, first year of arbitration. Next year's his second year of arbitration. We projected him to make like $7 or $8 million.
I think it was 8 to 10. Yeah,
well,
like it was like.
I like when you toss your worst projection into mine and fold me in there. Anyway, that's like when I get in trouble for saying something, and I'm like, Bonus said it too.
It was the opposite, actually, but go ahead.
What?
You kept saying he was going to be making $8 to $10 million. I said 7.
All right. Well, we shouldn't combine them either way. But he ended up making, well, we don't know what he's going to make, but he's projected via MLB trade rumors to make $5.8 million. And I mean, it's just directly based on statistics.
Right. Yes. Right.
So the fact that he entered the All-Star break with a 2.5 ERA and he ended the season with a 3.5 ERA, while still really good, probably knocked at least $1 million or $2 off his total. You might sit here and say, well, does that make him less likely to be traded by a Twins team that is pinching pennies? But I do think they care about a couple $1 million, but they've already cut the payroll so close to the bone.
It depends what their philosophy is for the 2026 season, if they really think they're competing or not. Right?
You know, when we get to Pablo Lopez at some point, I don't know when he comes up, but that is a $21 million salary.
Right.
That is something that could affect their odds of trading him because they just might want to get out from under that contract, even though it's a good contract. $5.8 million, even for the Twins. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the Poe's ability to care about this sort of thing. But I mean, their projected payroll right now is like $94 million.
Right.
And $5.8 million for a frontline starter is like laughably underpaid.
Right. And welcome to the end of this video. There's lots more. For another, just click on one of these boxes.
Or click on this circle in the middle to subscribe to all of our Twins Talk.
Thank you. Gleeman